Ernest Gaskins, and Mr. Kevin Beardmore, and feature you. And now, get ready to race to success.
I'm back. Sorry I missed you guys last week. And me in Lexington. So let's jump right in as usual. Let's talk a little bit about race day recap. You've got the hang of this, I believe. We're looking for the trifecta. I'll tell you what, don't tell Wednesday. Nobody in Wednesday got the trifecta. But here on Tuesday, you guys did number 3, early intervention, seek help from the TLC. You got that idea. Number 2, make a daily to-do list, master schedule of everything. Last of all, commit to regular study times and regular study place. So there's a few of you in the room that got this right, actually. And on the random draw, the winner was Stephanie Williams. So Stephanie, are you in the audience?
Yes.
Oh, you're right here, right up front. You see that's why you won. So just a reminder to Stephanie, you go to the campus center downstairs, student records, and show the ticket. They'll give you your choice. Pick. All right. Mary.
Okay, so just again to remind everyone about their homework, you have to use a racing ticket, which is how you get entered to win prizes and having them like your name out. Your racing ticket is what unlocks your pretest for the upcoming week. So if you haven't done your racing ticket, you won't be able to find your pretest. A lot of students have questions about not being able to find their pretest, and that's usually the answer is because you haven't done your racing ticket. If you can see whether or not you have completed it or not, you can too. If you go to your grade book and you see a check mark, that means that it was successfully submitted. And then you can go on. The longer you wait to do those things, they all pile up on top of each other, so you have to go back and forth, back and forth to get caught up. So I recommend staying on top of those. It doesn't take a lot of time, it just takes that memory to go in and do it, and to make sure to get those ready.
So Meredith, they just, if they didn't do it, they can forget about it and just move on?
False. You cannot you can't just go ahead to the next week. You have to go ahead and go back and see what you missed. So again, just make sure that you're staying on those. Your questions should count as right on the quizzes right now because we just want to test your knowledge to see what you currently know. On the final, it will be graded for an actual grade. And so if you're thinking you're rocking these and getting all the questions right, you might be, so kudos to you. You might not be at all. You might be getting all the questions wrong. We're just giving you points for doing the pre-test. So don't assume that you're getting them all correct. That's why you need to come here, make sure that you're checking your answers. There's also an instructor assignment every week. A lot of the instructors have it set up to where you can email them an answer to a question, or your instructor may come up with another assignment they want you to complete. Make sure that you're doing all of those each week. There is an assignment that's on the syllabus that is due September 27th. It is called Campus Clarity. Campus Clarity is statewide, national. I'm going to let Kevin talk about this because he knows.
Yeah, there was an act passed at the federal level a few years ago. It's the Sexual Violence Elimination Act. And there's certain things that we need to have in place that we started last year. The system wanted to roll that out a little early. They were going to roll it out in October. We were all in September. We had all our plans in place for you guys to start in September. They've delayed it to October. So you'll get more information about that. But if you see on your syllabus something due September 27th, in this case, you actually will have a little more time to work on it. We'll let you know as soon as it's ready.
And then there's also an assignment if you want to work really far ahead. It's called the 16 personality. You'll be getting a link from your breakout instructor, but if you want to go ahead and just Google 16 personalities, it's a free personality assessment. It's actually really fun. It'll give you information about what jobs that best fit your personality, relationship advice, just general information about you working with other people. So it's kind of fun, and it's really good survey tool. It's better. It's not like a magazine personality test to see, what decent you are. It's more based on some research and science to see what your personality type is and how you can better interact with the world around you. So if you want to get ahead on it, just Google it. If not, you'll be getting a link to things from the So now we have our sponsor for today, which is the OTTC speech and debate team. And so we're going to invite Dr. Bob Lynn and some of his team to come up on stage. Everybody give them a round of applause.
that, I just want to introduce Lacey Farm, who is one of our returning students. If you don't know Lacey, she doesn't do much on campus. She's your SGA president, in addition to being our best returning debater. And she's also our KCTCS student board representative. She was elected by you all across 16 campuses and will go to the sales and represent your interests. Connor Goodwin is a Panther at KWC. He was on our team for 2 years, and now he's our assistant coach, so they were kind enough to join us this morning. I'm Bob Glenn, and I just want to basically talk to you about the speech and debate team as a possible activity you might want to consider getting involved in. Good communication skills are in vogue anywhere you go. I don't care whether you're going to be a nurse, a teacher, you're going to go into accounting, you need to be able to communicate. The best ideas die if you can't communicate effectively. And what the speech and debate team offers is basically 4 benefits. Number 1, we give you an opportunity to build your confidence, because a lot of people lack confidence in public speaking. Number 2, we're not elitist. We're open to anybody. You don't have to have any experience at all. Thirdly, we help you become a better student, because if you become a better speaker and critical thinker, it'll help you in your classes. And then fourthly, it's just plain fun. Forensics is a lot of fun. That's my wake-up call. And I said that in personally. I do that in a short time. We meet on Mondays at 2 p.m. in Williams Resource Center.
You guys gave me at least an extra 20 seconds. That was impressive.
All right, we do thank Dr. Lynn and the students. They have set up snacks in your room for today. And so thank them. The speech and debate team is a great opportunity on campus. They get to take travels to different campuses. They get to meet a lot of great people. There's a speech tournament that comes here in October, UK, Pennsylvania, a lot of people come. So it's a good opportunity.
So with that, it's time for our keynote. We have 2 people from the library here. Our library director, Donna Abel, and Mr. John Watson. They'll be telling you a little bit more about the library. Please give them your... This purple is a little hard to see in the dark. I'm going to be bringing the lights up, so don't give me that, oh. So what's going to happen here in just a minute, the lights are going to come up. So your lights are on, you're ready.
Fans of the library out there?
How many of you? I'm Donna Abel, like you said. I'm in the library. John and I have been working on this to put something together that you can take away and hopefully learn something from what we did. Okay. Question right off the bat.
Can't hear back here.
Can you not hear me?
There you go.
That's
You have to talk right into
Okay,
it.
I'll stay close. What do you need every day, just like you need water?
Okay. We have it. Yes?
Yes?
I would say a pencil, pen.
Most indeed, yes, you definitely need that. But even with that,
You need cats. Cats.
I'm sorry. I added that because that's my baby. It's in frosty. I was a little off the subject, but sorry, forgive me. Go ahead.
So actually, next slide. Besides that pencil, of course, which is absolutely correct, you do need to be information literate, and you're bombarded with information. So you commute to school every day, you take the bus, you see billboards, you see signs, you get to school, you see printed materials, you check your email, you get texts, you get tweets. People actually speak to you. It's kind of a dying art, but there's a world of communication as our speech and debate folks just talked about. So you get lots of information, and you need information, but that does come with a little bit of responsibility and burden, which we'll talk about.
Another very important question to ask yourself is this information accurate?
And is it important? Well, next slide, please. And we will see, yes, it is very important. Imagine just on a personal level, you go to that event and it's canceled, or that item you wanted to get, those headphones, the price is going up 50%. Or you have a situation where that sale is over and the billboard on the mall said sale's going on through this weekend. On a scholarly level, imagine you're doing a research paper for your class and the information you used was factually incorrect. So perhaps your grade could depend on that information being accurate. So very important that your information that you're using is indeed accurate.
Okay, a few years ago, OCTC knew that information literacy needed to be defined for our own students and our own purpose. So you see in front of you what was defined, and that is information literacy encompasses a student's ability to recognize needs for information, identify appropriate sources, and obtain and evaluate and effectively apply that information.
There's action words there in red, by the way. Recognize, identify, obtain, evaluate, and apply. All very important factors to information literacy.
I'm getting old, so I'm going to have to get a chair set.
And do you think you folks, by the way, are information literate? What do you think here?
Yes, anyone. Do you think you're information literate?
We're not sure. Well, obviously, information literacy encompasses a number of things, like we said, but hopefully, next slide, please, you find that you are indeed information literate. I was Googling just the other day, just to kind of give you, for example, short-term loans. And on that first page of Google search results, you have loans that range from 6% annual percentage rate to 420%, kind of that check into cash type thing. Anybody here prefer to pay 420% over, say, 6 or 7%? Probably no takers. So information literacy encompasses so many things. So hopefully you are information literate, not just as students, but as lifelong learners. We're going to talk about the scavenger hunt results, a couple of questions, and you'll get a sense of whether this group is information literate or perhaps lacking a bit.
And don't take your first piece of information that you find on the internet to be the real thing. You need to look at more than just one side, just more than one source.
So I have a question for you. I've talked to you informally before. Anybody here feel like they were challenged in high school with research? Anybody here use databases, or do they pretty much use Google or Wikipedia?
Did you use the virtual library resources by chance in your high school? So everybody knows what the virtual library is.
I know I'm talking to a lot of you. Wikipedia and Google is pretty much all you need to get by. You will have classes at OCTC, not every one, but a number of classes that will challenge you to use more scholarly sources of information. And for those of you who go on for bachelor's degrees or graduate school in particular, you will definitely be challenged. In fact, next slide please. We surveyed the library directors and their staff at the 6 colleges that our students traditionally transfer to after they leave here. And that would be Murray State, WKU Bowling Green, Kentucky Wesleyan College, Russia University, UK, and University of Louisville. And we asked them to rate the importance of a number of research factors. And these are the results. Again, a small sampling survey, but I think they speak volumes. So for example, how important is it for a student there to be able to locate a book in the online catalog? The scores range from 1, not important, to 7, very important. And the average score of our respondents was 6.4, so way up on the list. How important was it for a student to locate an article in the online databases there in terms of being academically successful? And the average score was the highest value, 7.0. Likewise, being able to distinguish scholarly from popular sources of information, this was one of the questions on the scavenger hunt, by the way. Again, the results indicate 7 from our respondents, so very important to be able to have that skill. Next slide. Correctly cite sources of information. And I'll tell you, one of the hardest things to cite is the World Wide Web. Because very few websites provide a citation for themselves. Whereas if you use a print book or an ebook or a database article, it will give you the citation. Anybody here enjoy doing MLA or APA citations in your free time? I had a feeling you might. Yes, but you're the lone holdout, I suspect. So, citing sources of information, very important skill. Understanding the limitations of web information. I'm going to talk about this question. Just because you Google it and it's up on the top of the list doesn't make it a quality source of information. So knowing to differentiate, again, very important according to our library directors. And finally, the ability to navigate the library's website. Searching for information, you don't want to spend a lot of time looking for it. So doing the website, so very much at the top of the list in terms of its importance as a skill at the next level to be successful.
Another thing I wanted to mention, as far as resources and borrowing from one another, we do have a reciprocal agreement with all of these libraries. Your local libraries in Brescia and Wesleyan, and also the regionals and the universities. So if you see something in a catalog and you think Western might have it and we don't have it, you can come into our library and request that. Or you can go online and there's a IOL form there for you.
Okay, so just want to highlight the advantages and pitfalls of the web. These are the four most commonly used search engines. And this is just kind of a cartoon of what you might find if you're looking for health information, for example. So again, we are not anti-Wikipedia, we are not anti-Google as librarians. We talk about using scholarly sources that we can provide you. But we Google every day as librarians. But we also know that there are limitations to web information. And we would like you to become more knowledgeable in that area as well.
Yeah, and we use Google. We're not saying Google's bad at all. It's not. And we know you use it. But we want you to be able to recognize good and bad.
Okay, so a few comments about the scavenger hunt.
Yes, the scavenger hunt was meant to be active learning for you and something fun to do, to be able to come over, visit the library, which is your library. We want you to meet us, the library staff, and also to be able to differentiate a bit between different resources and just, learn a little something from the topic.
And just real fast, I know not every question on the scavenger hunt is going to be life-changing. I mean, going to the back of the library and counting how many group study tables there are, again, not a huge question, but hopefully you know that we have a group study area and where it's located in the library. By the same token, looking at primary source documents. That book written by George W. Bush was the primary source document, Decision Point. So no better source of information than going to the person in question. So, and again, you'll hear more about that in terms of information we'll see later on.
Okay, we're going to do a little fun thing. It's really more like did you know questions as opposed to trivia. And we've got these nifty little flashlights to give you. There's only going to be 3. But again, it's information that we hope that you can take away. Okay, can anyone tell me the name of this semester's common reading book? Yes, sir.
The Companion for Owls.
Yes, Marie. Come and get your flashlight.
You can do all this. There's a flashlight lighting on this.
Did anybody notice the street sign? Well, we're still going to get this flashlight to somebody. Okay, Carrie, I think this our flashlight. I'll use it.
I think she knows.
She does?
Yeah, she's just shy.
Okay, it's Dr. Ashton, Jackie Anderson,
Congratulations! Oh my gosh.
Who do you call if you have car trouble We would just like to leave you to, again, buy this to the library. If you haven't been already, please visit the library, get your ID cards, browse our shelves, browse our e-books online. We're here to help you, and we want to help you succeed. And the library, the Cyber Center, and you met the Teaching and Learning Center ladies last week. We're all there together as an advantage for you to be there all together so we can help you.
That pretty much sums it up. We appreciate you being here today. Again, if you have any questions at all, please stop by the library. We're happy to assist you.
It's about finding your own voice in the way you say things, because now we know you own those words. They're yours. So the idea of rewording something isn't about an academic, thing that we're just trying to make sure you actually work. It's for you to find how you own those words yourself. It's what you believe. And that's what's so critical about citations and plagiarism, and why you want to use primary sources, why you don't want to trust Twitter. We had a big firestorm in higher ed back in May about some comments the professor set up in Boston. You know what? What the professor said was different than what was out on Twitter. And somebody almost lost their job over it. You could be in that same spot. I bet you right now some of you are thinking about workplace situations where somebody said something, supposedly, and it turned out they didn't. That's why this is so critically important.
Students who are currently in my class, what will happen is you plagiarize, you'll fail. Do you hear them? They know. I will fail. And then I will say, hey, Mr. Beardmore, we have Mr. Beardmore situation. Johnny here plagiarized the class. You're here now failing. So just please make sure that you do your own work.
I knew that would happen. I knew they'd take away Forrest's noise.
Yeah.
That's too
Of
bad.
course it's sad. My students know that plagiarism is a big factor for me. Because a lot of you right now are thinking about other things, you're talking to your buddies sitting next to you or behind you, and you're not really, you think, well, this isn't going to pertain to me, because I'm never going to do this anyway. And that's good if you think that's you. But sometimes we have this nasty habit called procrastination, and in our nasty habit of procrastination, we try to take the easy way out or take a shortcut. And then we try to take these shortcuts, and then what's the easiest thing to do? What's the easiest way to copy and paste? Or I'm sorry, I just said it. What's the easiest way to plagiarize? Someone would feel like I didn't do that. Copy and paste, very good. All right, so then we copy and paste it. All right, so then what are we going to do? We're a little worried that we're going to get caught. So we're going to change a few words. See, y'all know how this goes. This is not rocket science. We know. Your teachers know this process. Like, we've been doing this teacher thing, and some of us have been students for 20 some odd years now. We've been doing this student thing for a while too. And so we get all of that. There's also plagiarism checkers that your papers can get run through Blackboard. So if we don't catch it, you're the algorithm thing. And so putting it into your own words is actually saving you a lot of time. Because if you get caught failing in a class because you use someone else's words to save you time, you're going to fail that class and then it's going to set you back a semester. Because now you're going to have to take this class again. For those of you who are in pre-admissions programs, such as your allied health programs, the admissions committee, I don't know if you all know that or not, but there are committees of faculty members and staff members. Some of them are your breakout instructors who decide who gets into the program or not. They're going to see those failing grades on your transcript and wonder what happened there. There are ways for it to be put onto Starfish, which is the retention program, that says, hey, Sally was cheating on paper. It has big consequences. And so, if you think it's a smart idea to plagiarize because it's easy at the time, you can end up paying for it time and time again. How many of you have heard you have the freedom of choice, but not the freedom of consequences of that choice, correct? So you have the freedom to make a choice, but you also will have to face the consequences of that choice. So it's a lot easier just to do your own work and to make that choice on your own. There's a lot of choices that you can make throughout college. One easy choice is that you do your own work and you put in your own time.
I'm out here in the audience because 30 years ago I was you. 30 years ago I was a college freshman doing the same sort of things you were doing. Except one of the things I had with me was this poor beat up dictionary, which you guys do not need to carry. I was in college, I was the first one in my family to go to college. They were using words I did not understand. I failed my second paper after getting a C- on the first one. I was down, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I decided it was time to figure out what these words were. So I put this dictionary in my backpack and carried it with me around campus. And every time somebody used a word I didn't know, I didn't get out in class, by the way. I usually jot it down on a little piece of paper. But in the library, if I was reading, I'd get my dictionary out and I would look the words up. I decided I didn't care if I was embarrassed. College was important enough. I wasn't going to waste my time there. You guys don't have to do that. You can use Google and Bing. It is so cool. You just type the word in. You don't have to type it in. You copy and paste. That's not plagiarism. Copy and paste into Google. find something, that's okay. You need to make sure somebody else hasn't said it before. But you know, the word ephemeral, anybody know what ephemeral means? What does it mean?
Like short-lived.
Yes, the opposite of perennial. So if you didn't know what ephemeral means, guess what? You'll probably hit it in some class. You just pop that in, they through the millennial will tell you what it means. The point is the time and effort. Take the time to ask the question. It's easy to just bypass things and decide, I'll look at that later. Take the time now, it'll save you a lot in the long run.
So just as a reminder for your merit events, this is a screenshot of the OCTC merit approved page. There are a lot of merit approved events coming up. If you notice, 11, 14, 15, on September 17th, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 events all at different times. And so if you're looking at a way to sort of knock some of these out, September 17th might provide an opportunity for you to do so. There's some offered in the evening, 1 to 7 p.m. There's one offered at 11 to 12:15 on the 17th, which is a Thursday. There's a common reading one at 12:30, and there's one for Constitution Day, offered at 2 o'clock. There's also another one scheduled for September 21st. Be looking for these and attending those, and just make sure that you're starting to think about those and get them on your schedule. So I do ask once again, like we did last week, that out of respect for those who haven't started working on their 1-minute papers, that you chill for about 30 seconds, fill out and answer all 3 parts of all 3 of the questions in order to get credit. Your breakout can give it back to you if you haven't. So just chill for about 30 seconds.
That's right, which means to stay seated.
Stay seated, and I'll translate it. They